Hello, Breakers families. Welcome to our virtual open house. I'm Samantha Bertoni, and I'm the special education teacher on the team. We wish we could see you all in person, but we're just glad that we have the technology to share this video with you. We've had a great start to the school year. The kids are doing a really great job with all the new procedures, and we're just really happy to see them all again. And I think they're all really happy to be back as well. And we have welcomed a few new students, which we're really happy they've joined us this year. So I'm going to just introduce the rest of the team. So we have Kyle Wilkinson, who is our long-term sub for math. He is with us till mid-November. He's filling in for Mr. Ashburner, who is home taking care of his baby. So the kids absolutely love Mr. Wilkinson already. So we're really happy to have him on our team. We have Kathleen Derry for language arts and Alex Fernandez for science, Sarah Zielinski, social studies, and Chris Myshek is our teaching assistant. She's not on this call with us, but she supports the kids in all the classes, and she's in resource room with me, and she's a great addition to our team as well. All right, so this floor is the Bay House office. So we have our administrator is Claudine Kelly. She's the assistant principal. Our school counselor is Jen Lathrop, and our administrative assistant is Karen McNaughton, and she's the one who schedules all of our meetings. So all of them are happy to help. So anytime you need anything, you can call their office and be there to help you. All right, so we're going to get into our curriculum information. So we are going to start with language arts.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to 8th grade. This is an exciting year for your students. And in language arts, the focus really is going to be on fostering some independence and problem-solving skills, which you might think is funny in language arts. But as your students move forward, they're going to be expected to grapple with increasingly difficult texts. So it's my job to give them a strong foundation in how to interpret and analyze a text, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. So by the end of 8th grade, I want students to be able to develop a thesis statement, provide an analysis of evidence, and identify and analyze figurative language, symbols, irony, conflict, and point of view in increasingly challenging literary texts. On a side note, this year is a little different because normally I would give some time in class for independent reading. This year, that independent reading will need to be done at home. And I can't stress the value of independent reading enough. As they build their comprehension skills, they will have tasks to go along with that independent reading. I'm super excited about this year, and I love teaching your children. They are spirited, they make me laugh, and they give me the energy I need to sustain this year. So thank you so much. And I believe we're going to move on to mathematics.
Yes, so I'm going to cover the 8th grade math class. I have been co-teaching with Mr. Ashburner for the last 4 years. This is my 5th year with him. And I know he would want me to share with you all that he really tries to make it fun. We do lots of projects and games, and the kids really just engage in all different kinds of activities in there. These are the units that we'll cover this year. In addition, we will be using a few different online tools with a blended learning model. We will be using iReady again this year. We'll be using Desmos. We do a lot of Kahoot, and we've used another program called Quizzes. So the kids are all used to those from last year. And yeah, we'll keep working on their math skills this year.
Okay, so I'm Kyle Wilkinson, like I was introduced before. I'm super excited to be working with the Breakers team. The kids are fantastic so far. I'm going to cover the algebra slide here. We're teaching, I'm teaching an algebra course. It counts as like a full high school course. So once they complete the course, they'll be able to move on to geometry in their first year of high school. We're covering a lot of different things this year. We've started our first unit on patterns, and a lot of the first unit has to do with reviewing a lot of the things they've learned in math class over the last 4 years. So they've seemed to be having a lot of fun with it. We'll move on to equations and inequalities and then functions. And then I think that's probably as far as I'll go before Mr. Ashburner comes back. to finish out the rest of the year doing linear functions, scatter plots, and trend lines, systems of equations, intro to exponents, and intro to quadratics. This is a full-on high school course, so the students will be expected to take a midterm exam in January and a final exam at the end of the year. And depending upon how they do on that, they'll be able to move forward to geometry. I can't express how grateful enough I am to be on the team right now. This is awesome, an awesome experience for me. And I hope that I'm filling Mr. Ashburner's shoes for the short time that I've got. But that's pretty much it.
Hello, so I'm Mrs. Fernandez, and I am pleased again to be able to engage with your students in grade 8 with science. As everyone has already mentioned, they're a fantastic group, engaging, and they love to ask questions, which is the basis of science, curiosity. So this year, I'd like to just continue really for them to learn about our wonderful world of science and how that applies to their day-to-day lives. And with that, that involves developing their critical thinking skills as well as their science skills. And we will do that covering 3 major units or topics. Within those, there'll be mini units. And the one we've started off with is the physical sciences. And the overarching question there is, why do objects move or don't move? So really understanding motion and forces. We will then move on to life sciences, which is biology, and we'll focus on genetics and heredity. And usually, from my past experience, students really enjoy doing that. And finally, end off with earth science, where they will cover a little bit of how our earth is designed and why we have the certain natural phenomena we have, such as volcanoes and certain weather, and then move on to what the impact of human activity is on earth science. So I think as we all recognize that we're in a new model with the hybrid model. And so given that, I would say the one difference from last year will be that science experiments hands-on are on hold at this moment, just given the nature of the pandemic. But we will, and I will continue to promote their ability to interpret and conduct science experiments. We will just adapt it such that I'll be using more demos and simulations rather than the hands-on in the classroom because of the issues regarding sharing materials. But other than that, I think we will still be able to deliver a good foundation in science and prepare them for high school. And I look forward to a great year with them. So thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mrs. Zielinski. I teach social studies. I am, like everybody else has said, really, really happy to be back. The kids are doing a really great job, and it's so great to have them in the room. And honestly, the small classes are really, it's definitely one of the silver linings of the model that we started out with. We really get to spend a lot more time with each of the students, and that feels really good. So this year in social studies, we're covering American history. So the current events will be woven in throughout all of the units. As some of you, I'm sure have heard from students, we're really focused on media literacy because a lot of what they're going to be doing is independent research. They'll do a lot of different projects, both large and small, independent and collaboratively. So they definitely need to have those skills throughout. And then as they go on in life academically and just, with everything else that we do. So the units that we're going to be studying are the American Revolution, westward expansion, the Civil War era and Reconstruction, and then modern U.S. history, including the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. We, anytime that we can, just try to make things relatable to them and draw in, this happened then, but what's happening now, so that they can make a connection and make this meaningful. So, the projects, some of the hands-on things like we've heard before, those are changing, but there are so many opportunities for us to learn new ways of collaborating virtually. So we're doing our best and the kids are having fun with it.
Okay, so we are going to go through some of our key vet information now.
Okay, so thanks, Mrs. Bertoni. So social emotional activities. Over the last few years, we as educators have focused on some social emotional learning. And not that we haven't focused on that for a long time. This is my 25th year of teaching, and I can tell you from way back to 25 years ago, we were always concerned about our students' social and emotional well-being. But now we've learned so much more about things that we can do to help the students establish and maintain positive relationships, manage their emotions, set positive goals, and all of those things are life skills and things that they will need as they move on through high school and then beyond. So some of the things that we have done here on the team is we've played some icebreakers, we've done some games during our flex block, which is now really kind of our connections block. We have encouraged the kids to leave welcome back messages using a program called Flipgrid. There is time for students to socialize during mask breaks, which they're doing a great job with. And then within the classroom, we've done some getting to know you activities, whether it's in math, language arts, science, or social studies. In language arts specifically, they're working on an identity unit right now, and they've written some really poignant 6-word memoirs. And in social studies, they created a This Too Shall Pass one-pager, just looking at all of the things that have happened over the last few months, over the course of being in quarantine, and just being able to express what's going on in their lives. We had a fun little activity over right at the beginning of the school year because we really just wanted to know, how did they spend their summer months? How did they spend time during COVID? And so they had a choice of either telling us where their flip-flops have been or where their mask has been. And those were great conversations to have with the kids and to catch up over the last 5 months. We will continue throughout the year weaving social emotional learning into our classrooms. And I don't even think the kids will know that that's what it is, but it's there, again, to help them establish and maintain positive relationships and make responsible decisions.
So on that same note, our counselors are available in different ways this year than they have been in the past. So our school counselor, as we mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, Mrs. Lathrop, she actually came in to talk with our students about their virtual counseling office. It's so cool. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, it's on our Breakers team page where it's under classwork. So they have a virtual relaxation room that has all different kinds of apps and strategies and programs where if they're feeling stressed, where they can, look for different things that might work for them in terms of stress relief and different self-care activities. Students have access to this, like I had said, on the Breakers team page, and it's under classwork. And they can also, using this, they can set up appointments with Ms. Lathrop as needed. So there's a quick Google form that they can fill out and just let her know, the general nature of what they need to see her about, and she'll get them in as soon as she can. So this is a picture of what it looks like. So they've used Bitmojis. If you see like up on that poster that has the rock stacked, feeling stressed, try the virtual relaxation room. You click right on that and it brings you to all of the tools. So a lot of the things on this page are clickable, and they are still, they're going to be continuously adding things and changing things and updating. So it's a really, really great resource for the kids.
Okay, so this year we are continuing to use Infinite Campus. So your child's grades will be posted in Infinite Campus, and the teachers are working hard to update that every 2 weeks. But this year students will also see grades in Google Classroom, but they should really utilize Infinite Campus for their most up-to-date grade, because Google Classroom does kind of show a grade, but it might not be aligned with their Infinite Campus grades. So just make sure that they're checking that as well. If you have any specific questions about a class, about a grade, please feel free to email that specific teacher and they will be happy to help you with that. If you're having difficulty logging in, or if your child's having difficulty logging in, we can also help them, but you can email Jen Bercelli. She is our technology consultant, and she will be able to help you troubleshoot that. Your child also has access to Infinite Campus, so please make sure that they're checking their progress. It's really important, especially this year in 8th grade, that they're taking that ownership and that responsibility of their grades as they get ready for high school. I know the high school will expect them to go on Infinite Campus and to continuously check their grades and make sure they're not missing anything. So it's really an important year to get them on it if they're not doing that already. And we have showed the kids how to get on, so they should know how to do
Okay, with the new hybrid model, we've really integrated Google Classroom into our teaching this year. So your child should check their Google Classroom page each day for updates and reminders. I know every single teacher in the Kiva posts something every day. We usually get it done within our planning period or before then, so it gets posted right at 8 in the morning so that they can see their activities they need to do. They can utilize the to-do list and the calendar tools to keep track of the things that they have to do. So the to-do list is going to show assignments that they need to complete and also missing assignments and completed assignments. And the calendar will give them week by week what is actually due during the week so they can see what's coming up. And it's really important that you guys encourage your children to check the assignments for teacher feedback and for and to send private messages to their teachers if they have any questions. I know a lot of students have already done really well with utilizing that private message feature, sending me messages, asking questions, and it's a good way for us to give feedback immediately when the students are at home doing work that we've assigned. So it's really helpful to have the Google Classroom set up. Here's the to-do list on the Google Classroom. So if the students just click that little to-do button there, it's going to show them a breakdown of what things don't have a due date, what's due this week, what's due next week, and what's due later. And then they can toggle over to see what they're missing or what's completed. So it's a good way to keep track of everything.
So with regard to Wednesday Zoom, so as you are aware, all students call into a Zoom lesson on Wednesday mornings, and overall students have been doing a wonderful job on that. We just wanted to highlight a couple of things and just review it. Basically that obviously it's a school day for all students, so their participation is required, and they would just follow the normal daily schedule, the half-day schedule that has been shared with them for Wednesday. We do recognize that sometimes there are technological issues, and so just have your child message the teacher if that happens, and we will gladly assist the child or refer them to someone who can help them so that they can join. Usually the kinds of things we've been running into are primarily finding the link. So it's just, we're working with students to remember where to go on the Google Classroom, because we all have posted where our link is so that students can have it every week. So sometimes it's just little gentle reminders for that. I think the other thing that we're also working to develop the routines with the students, and a lot of them are on board, we just keep helping others get on, is with regard to Wednesday afternoons to really follow whatever the teacher directions are from the Wednesday morning Zoom lesson on what they should be doing on Wednesday afternoons. And lastly, on Wednesday, since it is a school day, you would follow the similar procedure. If your child is unable to join, then it's considered an absence. So please contact Stacy Watson and let her know, and that would be very helpful. With regard to Zoom expectations, as already mentioned, all the students are doing a super job, super respectful, and we have shared the best practices for live engagement with students. Here we're just sharing it with you as well, and I just wanted to highlight 3 of them. I think one of them is just reminding students to be on time, and overall that has been going well. Second of all is just to remember for them to have a charger accessible for their device. We have been running occasionally into problems where students are running out of charge on their devices. So that would be, if they have that, that will help them. And then lastly, really encouraging as much as possible for them to switch on their camera during Zoom. It really makes such a difference in the classroom, both for them, for their peers, and for the teachers when they can join with the video on, because we can assess engagement and it's much more easier to engage them as well. But overall, they're doing a super job. Thank you.
Okay, so our favorite thing to talk about is snack, and your kids do a great job eating snack, I have to say. But we would just like to encourage them every day to bring some kind of snack to school. We just ask that you refrain from any tree nuts or peanuts, just for those who have allergies. And so we just need to make sure we're keeping them safe. Our lunch is a little bit later this year. It's at 12:40, so they are a little hungry, and we typically give them a snack sometime after Life Arts. So some of them will have it right when they get back from Life Arts. Others will stagger it a little bit. And as of now, we're eating snacks outside, which I think they really enjoy. We would prefer that your children only drink water in the Kiva. it's just a little easier to maintain and to keep all the, sweet juices and things like that out of the kiva. And then finally, if they could bring their own water bottle, they were really good about bringing water bottles last year. I mean, almost too good at bringing water bottles to school last year. But now it seems like they've forgotten. And our water fountains have been retrofitted so that they can actually fill their water bottle in a more sanitary manner. So they can't drink from the water fountain. So they really do need to have a refillable water bottle. So we would really appreciate that. But that's about it for snacks.
Okay, so students are doing a really great job wearing their masks. It is a long day, and so we're really impressed with, how well they're doing with that. They really don't complain, and they really just, go through the day with it on, and it's just becoming a normal thing. So, but it is a long day, so we do take 2 mask breaks within the kiva during the day. So one is in the morning, and like Ms. Derry just mentioned, during snack. So they do eat snack outside, and they take a little break, and that one's pretty quick. And then we take another one in the afternoon, which is during our flex block, and that one is a little bit longer, where they can socialize a little bit, see their friends, and just get some fresh air in the afternoon. And we've had some really, really nice days, so we've been lucky so far, because we've just been able to enjoy the time outside and then come back in and have our last class. So it's been going well.
All right, and some supplies that we're asking that students have. It's definitely different from last year, where most classes would require a binder, and we'd have, because they were using their lockers, they could have kind of more for a class. We really did try to condense it because children are bringing their backpacks to all their classes. So if they have a laptop, the kids have been really good about bringing them in. Eventually, all of the students will have school issued devices, so that will be great. But if they do have a laptop and they're bringing it in, just to remind them to also bring their charger. We are finding that a lot of times, they're running out of battery within the day. So that's also an important piece of it. Other things that it would be good if they could have pencils, colored pencils, 1-inch binder. We're really, really all, reducing the amount of paper that we're giving out. So it's not necessary this year that they all have a binder for each class. But that's just in case there are things that, that are better served on paper. A ruler, a calculator, a composition notebook for LA, so a specific one for that class, a specific graphing composition notebook for science, a pocket folder, and a planner or calendar. So that's optional. I do notice that some students use them, and they like the act of writing it down just helps them remember. They have it all in one place, but they also, as mentioned before, have the calendar option on Google Classroom, which is extremely helpful too. And some kids like to put it in their calendar in their phone so that they're getting those reminders.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right, so high school. It is a big year for these guys, and we are getting them ready for high school. I know that you probably all have a lot of questions about what the transition will look like. Usually we do go over to the high school and they take a tour and we get information from the counselors, but obviously with COVID, we most likely will not do that. So a lot of it will probably be virtual. We are still working on getting that information though. So once we have that information, we will definitely get it out to all of you. And the counselors will be in touch. So just keep a lookout for some of those updates. But like I said, right now it's still in the works, so we will definitely be talking about it soon. But for right now, just look out for it in your email.
So with regard to parent meetings, we highly encourage them for any reason. So if at any time you would like to meet with us, please reach out to one of us. You can reach out to the team leader, Sam Bertoni, or any one of the any one of us in the Kiva as well. And then we can help coordinate and set up an appointment. Just given the new format and so you're aware, it will be a meeting that we'll set up by Zoom. And that's pretty much it. Just feel free and don't hesitate. And we're here to help.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact any one of us. Our emails are all there listed. We are looking forward to a really great year, even though things look different. we know it'll be a great year anyway, and it's just really nice to see everybody and to be working with the kids again. But yeah, if you have questions, let us know and we'll be in touch. All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.